Safe harbor language explained, forward-looking statements made clear. Heard a bold prediction and then a careful caveat? That's safe harbor language. It's a short legal warning that frames predictions as estimates, not promises. In plain terms, it says, "This is our best guess today, not a guarantee." The goal is to limit liability when talking about the future, because markets shift, plans change, and surprises happen. You'll see it in business updates, tech roadmaps, and finance reports, where leaders discuss what they expect to achieve. Safe harbor text keeps communication open and ambitious, while reminding everyone that the future can still zig when you expect it to zag. Ambitious teams speak optimistically. Without a safe harbor, that optimism can be read as a binding promise and invite lawsuits if things change. A clear disclaimer protects you while keeping your message strong. It also sets realistic expectations, so your audience knows forecasts involve uncertainty. Using safe harbor language signals professionalism and transparency. You're confident, but you know the risks. In many investor settings, earnings calls, pitch decks, or filings, some form of safe harbor is expected or required. It's not about hiding. It's about communicating responsibly and staying credible over time. Use safe harbor language whenever you hear future-facing words like expect, plan, aim, anticipate, target, will, or project. If you're discussing future results, timelines, launches, or milestones, add a disclaimer. It's also essential when announcing goals, forecasts, or product roadmaps that depend on many moving parts. Another signal, when you mention risks or uncertainties, supply chain, regulation, competitors, adoption rates, you're acknowledging variables. That's exactly when safe harbor earns its keep, giving you room to share direction without overpromising outcomes. First, identify forward-looking statements so listeners know what content is predictive. Next, acknowledge that risks and uncertainties exist. Internal and external factors can shift results. Third, clearly state that actual outcomes may differ from what's described today. Finally, point to risk factors or sources where people can learn more, like a prospectus, annual report, or a risk summary in your deck. These ingredients work together. Label the forecast, note uncertainty, warn of variance, and direct audiences to details. That structure balances clarity with protection, while keeping your message actionable. Try this simple, adaptable disclaimer. This presentation includes forward-looking statements, which reflect our current expectations and plans. These statements are based on current views and assumptions, and are not guarantees of future performance. Risks and uncertainties may cause actual results to differ materially from those expressed or implied. For more information, see our risk factors and related disclosures. Tweak the nouns, presentation, call, report, and add a few company-specific risk examples for extra clarity. The aim is friendly, clear, and complete. No dense legal jargon required. Keep it short, clear, and human. Use short sentences and familiar words so listeners grasp it on the first pass. Place the disclaimer before or right next to your forecasts, not buried at the end. Match the tone to your brand, confident and approachable, but avoid jokes that could muddy the message. Steer clear of heavy legalese. It can confuse and reduce trust. If your audience is global or non-legal, consider a brief summary line up front, then a fuller version in an appendix. Clarity helps people focus on your ideas, not deciphering fine print. Weak. We will double revenue next year. That sounds like a promise. Better, we aim to double revenue next year, which frames it as a goal. Stronger still, we aim to double revenue next year, subject to market and execution risks, Actual results may differ. Notice the upgrades, goal language, explicit risks, and a variance warning. You can tailor risks, pricing pressure, hiring pace, regulatory approvals to your context. The message stays inspiring while setting honest boundaries, which investors and teams appreciate. Be specific about risks when possible. Supply constraints, competitive launches, regulatory timelines, or customer adoption. Update your language as conditions change. Outdated disclaimers weaken credibility. Keep the disclaimer consistent across media, slides, emails, blog posts, and earnings calls should align. When in doubt, get legal review, especially for fundraisers, public statements, or sensitive markets. A solid safe harbor is a small effort that prevents big headaches, letting you communicate boldly while staying protected.